Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is the English translation of the Majlis of Hazrat Maulana Qamar Uzzaman Saheb Damat Barakatuhum, which took place on Wednesday night at Darul Uloom Kantaria in Bharuch, Gujarat, India. Wednesday, the 21st of Ramadan, 1444, corresponding with the English date, 12th of April 2023. This majlis took place after the Taraweeh Salat. Hazrat Wala is saying this pattern and this nizam and the system has been going on for some odd 30 to 35 years now. Kitab and Sunnat ki baatein sunata hu. I speak on topics and articles from the Quran and the Hadith. I'm speaking about the essence which is in the Quran and in the Hadith. And in between there, I speak about the lives of our Buzurgan-e-Deen as well. Mi'yar-e ikar basih shay ast. The foundation of this matter and system lies on three things: Kitabullah wa Sunnat Rasul wa Sirat Salaf, the Quran, the Hadith, and the Sirat, the life or the beautiful way and example of our pious predecessors who lived Quran and Sunnah practically. Itni Farsi to seekh hi lo, at least learn this amount of Farsi. Mi'yar-e kar basih shay ast, Kitabullah wa Sunnat Rasul wa Sirat Salaf. I didn't learn this year, but rather I heard it from Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Saheb, due to which I learnt it. Allah Ta'ala give us affinity and good acquaintance with the ulum and knowledge of Quran and Hadith, with this type of knowledge. Hazrat Tanvi has written this year in Talimuddin. So, it is Kitabullah and Sunnat Rasul. That is the asal, that is the essence. And the Sirat Salaf, the way and the life and the practical example that the Aslaf showed us, we keep that in front of us so that we can understand and we can also then practice upon. We look at the life of Hazrat Tanvi, Hazrat Shah Anwar, etc. So the essence is just two, Kitabullah and Sunnat Rasul. But the Sirat of Salaf is samajne, samjane or amal karne ke liye. It is to understand, to make others understand also, and to see how they made amal. That Salaf ne ye kaam kaisa kiya? How did the pious predecessors practice on this aspect or on that aspect? Therefore, it is for this reason that we also read the kitabs of the pious predecessors. And up till today, people are writing kitabs. People ask, where do I get these waqiyat from? When I quote the waqiyat of our Kabirin, so I say to them, did you read Amirul Riwayat? Listen, you will not find this in the Hashia and in the footnotes of Bukhari Sharif. You will find this in Amirul Riwayat about Hazrat Tanvi, Hazrat Sheikhul Hind, Hazrat Shah Anwar. You will see how they made amal. Sheikh Rashid Raza Misri came to India back in the day, and he was there at Darul Uloom Deoband, where Hazrat Shah Anwar then addressed in the Arabic language. And Sheikh Rashid Raza Misri was so impressed that he went on to say these were his sentiments and his remarks, that whatever Shah Anwar, Maulana Anwar has spoken about his Sheikh, I accept it and I acknowledge it. Now this year was something absolutely remarkable for a man of such stature and an alim of note, Sheikh Rashid Raza Misri, to make such a type of a statement. Now who gets these So on what occasion, what did they do and what amal did they do? This is why we look at the life and the sirat of our Salaf. And that's why we read the Sirat, we listen to it, and we read it out to others as well. Here, there are so many people who have been here for some many long years also. Seniors, people who have been here for a long time, listening to these type of talks, 30 odd years of Quran and Hadith, which I carry out here. You know, when I was in London, Maulana Bhuta Sahab went on to say that there's so many ulama from other countries who come here, but they will not even tell the people or relate to them some ahadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Keep in front of you the ta'aleem of Riyadus Salihin. You know, when Allama Ibrahim came and he asked me, what are you studying? And then I mentioned this, that, and then I said Riyadus Salihin, and he went on to say, but this is not from the Mutadawil kitabs, this is not from the kitabs that are normally taught, etc. So I went on and I told Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab about this, due to which he said to me, go and tell him that Hazrat Shah Waliullah, what he kept in the Nisab, Riyadus Salihin is also part of that which the children should learn. When I gave him this answer, he was absolutely silenced. So Hazrat Imam Nawawi rahimahullah has also established the kitabs there on the style of suluk and tasawwuf. So we need to look at this here. So the life and the sirat of the aslaf, so that we can see how we can make amal, and this is necessary for all. And ulama are still writing up to date books on the sirat of the aslaf. Allah Ta'ala has given us an opportunity. Very few people have this opportunity. I mean, such a long span of time, 30, 35 years, and together with that so many people come and gather here. And what are we putting forward? It is Kitabullah, Sunnat Rasul, and Sirat Salaf. So we're having an opportunity here and a mauqa, so that we must also make shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this. And what can I say? Muhtamim Saab came and he seated me here. I'm really indebted to him, and I am thankful and grateful to that gesture of his. Allah Ta'ala reward him well. Yes, this I can say so much, that I did not fulfill the rights of it. However, I always continue trying. Allah Ta'ala accept it, and Allah Ta'ala let the silsila and this pattern of how things are working here continue. Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab used to ask us that, listen, you're studying Quran and Hadith, kya karoge? You'll go into what? And then we said, we'll learn and we'll teach as well. He said, nahi, no. That's very, very difficult. However, he did go on to say that stay in the silsila of learning and teaching. Usme lage raho, make koshish in this year. Hazrat Maulana Habibur Rahman Azmi came to Allahabad, and then Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab said to me that go and tell him that he must leave some people. Rather, he must prepare students with the ilm and the knowledge that he has been given, referring to the ilm of hadith. He was a great muhaddith. So this ulum, ulama should also put it in their bosoms. Hazrat Shah Waliullah has written, and in his time, the talks and the ash'ar of Gulista and Bosta would be repeated over and over in the different gatherings. People used to make kalam on it, speak about it, etc. At that time, he went on to say, then why should I not make translation of the Quran? So that, just like how the Sahaba would relate Quran to one another, that our people will also then, understanding the meanings of the Quran, start relating it to one another. So if I make tarjuma of this, then this silsila of learning and teaching of the Quran will also become common here. So if we have ilm, then we can have amal. And if you have true ilm, then you will have the thirst and enthusiasm then to make amal. You will have that enthusiasm to make amal. If the ilm is correct, then most definitely the amal will also be correct. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq and the hidayat of that. I say to the awam and the common people, most definitely, that some amount of Quran and Hadith you should know, so you can understand that what is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying to us and teaching us, what is his ta'aleem, etc. Allah Ta'ala give us that tawfiq. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying in the Quran Majid, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying in the Quran Majid, Innal muttaqina fi dhilali wa uyun wa fawakiha mimma yashtahun kulu washrabu hani'an bima kuntum ta'malun inna kadhalika najzil muhsinin kulu wa tamatta'u qalilan innakum mujrimun waylun yawma idhil lil mukaththibin wa idha قيل لهم اركعوا لا يركعون ويل يومئذ للمكذبين فبأي حديث بعده يؤمنون. So I actually wanted to speak about this here. We hear these ayat of the Quran Majid over and over again. Let me make tarjuma of it. Hazrat Wala is saying. So Hazrat Shah Waliullah used to say that the Quran itself is such a great ni'mat which has been given to us, such lowly people, simple people, ordinary people. It is the greatest ni'mat that people like us could ever get. MashaAllah, you people recite so well. And it's not just like that. You make mehnat and you make mashq. It is only then that you can take out the alfaz and the letters in this correct way. Allah Ta'ala give us sahih munasabat, affinity with the Quran Majid. At least so much. Understand this year when you are reading and sitting down to read Quran that samajh lo, ye baat samajh lo कि Allah का kalam hai, that this year is the speech of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you make yourself understand this year, the importance of the Quran will be and settle down in your hearts, due to which accordingly you will reap the benefits. Allah Ta'ala has blessed us with this wealth, and very few have been blessed with this year. We should make shukr for it, that we are sitting here, we have came, we are listening. So kun aliman aw muta'alliman aw mustami'an aw muhibban, become an alim, or at least a student, or at least somebody who listens, or somebody who loves them, So Allah Ta'ala make us from the first category, and if not, then the other categories as well. Innal muttaqina fi dhilali wa uyun, those who fear, they will be in shade. Wa uyun, shades, and uyun, fountains, springs. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala here is speaking about the rewards of the muttaqis. Here we in the month of Ramadan, and we speak about taqwa. Here is the reward of taqwa. You know, when I went to France, and the tower that was there erected, and people come from all over the world to come and see it, I said to them, maybe in this country you have achieved this year, but tell me, have you achieved this year this simple type of a ni'mat in Jannah, where a person sees a fruit hanging from the branch of a tree, and at that time he desires that fruit? He doesn't even say anything. Simultaneously, he will be eating that fruit, and at the same time, that fruit will be hanging from that tree. Now, this year, can you produce something like that? In fact, the people of Darul Fana, of the temporary world, cannot even truly understand how great these ni'mats are, because they are in the temporary world, and that will be the permanent world. And if that fruit just for one moment separates itself from the tree, then it will actually be against the grain of the permanency and the permanent nature of the akhirat, and it will be against the grain of Jannah, which is لا مقطوعة ولا ممنوعة. There will be no separation, not even for even one moment. Rather, a person will go into the bazaar and the marketplace of not beautiful people, rather of beauty. And whichever type of beauty he wishes for, he will be blessed for that, with that. And then he will wish for another type of beauty. He will wish for another type of complexion, and then yet another type, and yet another type. And with all of that on his face at one time, no type of badnumai, ugliness or unappropriate look will ever come on his face. Rather, that Jannat is such. ما لا عين رأت ولا أذن سمعت ولا خطر على قلب بشر. Hazrat Sheikh Abdul Haq Muhaddis Delvi, he was forcefully sent by his ustads away from the haram, and he persisted and he wanted to stay. And then they said to him that you must leave. There is no benefit for you staying here, meaning you will be greatly or much more appreciated in the Indo-Pak subcontinent. And nevertheless he came, and he done great work when he came. He gives nasihat to Sheikh Farid, who is the Mughal Sultanate and of the entire Indo-Pak subcontinent. And he says, in your zahir and your batin, let that be the same, your zahir and the batin. It can't be that your zahir is showing this year of that of a religious person, and your batin, your inward, your internal is so far away from that. And create ikhlas in your a'mal, and always keep the rewards of a'mal, the jaza of a'mal in your hearts. He writes to the king of that time, fearlessly giving him nasihat and advice. Hazrat Wala then says, Ulaika abai, these are my forefathers. Fajina bimithlihim idha jama'tana ya jarirul majami'u, that bring me the like of them. Bring me the like of them. These are my forefathers. Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Saheb used to say that the people of Darul Uloom Deoband, the ulama, were very greatly impressed by the works and the sacrifices and the knowledge of Hazrat Mujaddid Al-Faithani. But he would go on to say that the works of Sheikh Abdul Haq Muhaddis Delvi was nowhere any the less. So here, we are keeping Roza, we are reading our Taraweeh Salat, we are reciting Quran. Keep the rewards of these a'mal in mind, and it will create such type of a joy, farhat, enthusiasm to do these a'mal. Hazrat Aisha radiyallahu ta'ala anha used to say, initially Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed ayat regarding Jannat and Jahannam abundantly. So many ayat of Jannat that such type of an enthusiasm and thirst was created in the hearts of people, due to which they started carrying out a'mal of Jannah. And so much of Jahannam was mentioned that such a type of dislike and nafrat was created in the hearts of people, due to which they did not even go in the direction of Jahannam. So Allah Ta'ala has given us, look at this. This is the shan of Allah Ta'ala. He is that Zat who gives tawfiq. If He never gave tawfiq, we couldn't do anything at all. He gives tawfiq, and together with that there, look at His generosity. He even rewards you. He's giving you tawfiq to do it, and He's rewarding you for it as well. Allah Ta'ala says, Inna Allah ashtara min al-mu'minina anfusahum wa amwalahum bi anna lahumul jannah. Definitely Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has purchased from the believers themselves and their wealth in exchange of Jannah. Now it is only Allah that could do this, that He gives tawfiq and He gives the reward as well. So Allah Ta'ala is saying that I have given you your lives and I have given you your wealth and I am purchasing it from you. I have given it to you. I am purchasing it from you in exchange of Jannah. So when the first Jamaat and group of people heard this year, they became absolutely happy that Allah Ta'ala is purchasing our life and our wealth and Allah is giving us in exchange of that Jannah. So they became, a person who becomes extremely happy, that gleam, that smile on his face, he goes white in the face. And the second group of people, when they heard this particular ayat, they became embarrassed. Rather, they went pale and they went yellow in the face. That how is this here? No, man. But Allah gave us this wealth. Allah gave us this life. But how can He still after that buy it from us? It belongs to Him. And after He's buying it from us, He's giving us in exchange of that, He's giving us Jannah. They were actually felt like embarrassed that it belongs to Allah. Why would Allah buy it from us? It is His. He can take it. Allahu Akbar. So, then, what was it? For those people who went white in the face, they said that they got happy that Allah has bought this from us here. In Jannah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala summons them and gives them everything in silver. And that group that went pale in the face, of course, they were the Arifin. Their level was much higher. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala stipulated and designated for them everything in gold. Allahu Akbar. Now, I went for a seminar back there in our diyar, and many of the ulama here also attended. There were great muhaddithin all present there, and they were making so much of kalam. I reached there quite late, and then towards the end I was asked to speak. So then I said to them that the Quran has an external and an internal. We learned this from the hadith. And we all understand this fact that the hadith is a commentary of the Quran. So it will only be that the zahar of the hadith, the external portion of the hadith, that will explain the external dimension of the Quran, and the internal portions of the hadith that will explain the internal dimensions of the Quran. So I said to them, up till now, you were speaking about Zahr Hadith. Now get ready. Let's start speaking about Batn Hadith. And then I continued and elaborated. So Allah Ta'ala gave us the tawfiq. Allah give us the tawfiq for amal salih, righteous deeds, and together with that Allah Ta'ala bless us with hal tayyib, a great and beautiful, excellent spiritual states. So like how we see expertise, external expertise and kamalat, perfections, similarly much greater than that are the kamalat and the perfections of the batin, and Allah Ta'ala blesses this to His close servants. So one is the external part of the roza and the other one is the internal part. So saum hai iman se. Fasting actually comes, it is with iman. It is with iman. Iman rukhsat, saum gum. If you've got no iman, then there's no question about your fasting. And qaum hai Quran se. A nation is from Quran. Quran rukhsat. If there's no Quran, if Quran is absent, then remember, qaum gum. There's no nation. There's no society. There's no people. A people's existence is with Quran. So, Quran, you have to take Quran, you have to take fasting, you have to take the external aspect, the internal aspect, and you have to take the words, and you have to take the ma'ani also, the deep meanings as well. And there was a certain people that Allah Ta'ala just took them out just from the external, just from the meanings, and He put them into the reality and into the deep meanings as well. Allah Ta'ala make islah of our hearts. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala illuminate more than ever our hearts in this holy month of Ramadan. Allah Ta'ala bless us with the purity of soul in our hearts. There's so much to say, different articles, different topics, but Allah Ta'ala, Man sama Ramadana imana wa ihtisaba, a person who keeps his siyam with iman and with hope of gaining great reward, then his sins would be forgiven. But together with that, we need to cry that Allah, weigh our a'mal in front of you. Therefore, out of your mercy, you accept this a'mal. And if Allah Ta'ala just accepts one tasbih of ours, then it is everything for us. Tonight also there's a great possibility that it will be the night of Qadr. So we should also make an effort, even some amount of time, we should go through and search in this for the night of Qadr and power, so that we can be blessed with the fuyuz and the barakat as well. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم بحرمة سيد النبي الكريم صلى الله عليه وسلم.